What's going on, summoners? Welcome back to another ProGuides video. I'm Kangas, and today we're taking a look at 10 champions that are always consistent no matter what the meta. This means regardless of what patch you're on, with enough practice and dedication, you can always provide your team with a powerful pick. So if you're looking for somebody to add to your champ pool that will always offer your team either nice damage or utility regardless of the meta now, make sure to hit that sub button and let's get right into it. Now, it may seem odd for a lot of you to see Malphite appear on this list, but trust me, it's for pretty good reason. This armor-stacking hyper tank is well known for his ability to devastate teamfights with his ultimate. However, what many of you may not be aware of is just how strong his laning phase is versus a lot of champions. Thanks to his passive and his Q, Malphite's able to take short trades in his favor and then simply run away before the enemy has any time to trade back. Pair this with the Arcane Comet, and now you've got an obnoxious laner that can play safe versus most matchups. Alongside his great laning phase, Malphite will eventually scale up to be an unkillable frontliner that can massively disrupt teamfights thanks to his ultimate and innate tankiness. So if you need a reliable tank that's fairly easy to play, Malphite is sure to consistently impress you with his survivability and damage output. But before we dive further into Malphite's itemization, I want to remind you to check us out at ProGuides.com, where you can check out our great catalog of challenger coaches that can personally create a walkthrough to your dream rank. We're right at the end of the season, so go check it out now before it's too late. Also important to note that their coaches are on there 24/7, so it doesn't matter how busy your schedule is, they will always have time for you. So if that sounds interesting, go check it out. But now back into Malphite. For summoner spells, you'll be taking Flash and Teleport since you're looking to survive early. As for runes, you're taking Grasp of the Undying, Demolish, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight. But if you really think that you can smash a lane, you can also take Comet instead. To start off the game, you'll be buying a Doran's Shield with a health potion to help you sustain through the early game, and similar to Shen, pick up an early Bramble Vest and then look to build Sunfire, defensive boots of your choice, Thornmail, Abyssal Mass, Anathema's Chains, and finish off with a Warmogs or a Randuin's. Next up on our list, we've got Shen. Now, the Eye of Twilight is notorious for his ultimate, which, in case you're unaware, allows him to provide a massive shield to any ally on the map. But alongside the shield, you will also teleport to said ally as long as they don't die before your channel is completed. Thanks to the defensive scaling on his ultimate, Shen will always be useful to his team, as the longer the game goes on, the more massive his shield becomes. Plus, Shen's kit allows him to provide his team with a ton of utility. Between his taunt and his W, Shen is able to provide a lot of peel for his allies while also pressuring the enemy. So if you're looking for a supportive tank that deals a ton of percentage HP damage, make sure to check out Shen. For summoner spells, you'll take Flash and Teleport, but if you're in a lane where you have tons of kill pressure, you can feel free to take Ignite instead, because your ult will make up for not having Teleport anyway. As for runes, you'll take Grasp of the Undying, Shield Bash, Second Wind, Overgrowth, Cheap Shot, and Ultimate Hunter. To start off the game, you're buying a potion and a Doran's Shield, and afterwards be sure to start with a Bramble Vest and build into Frostfire, Gauntlet, defensive boots of your choice, Titanic Hydra, Thornmail, Randuin's, and then finish off with either Anathema's Chains or Force of Nature. Now, starting us off in the jungle role, we've got Nunu. This magical beast is well known for his high gank pressure and objective control. His simple kit allows for players of all types to take advantage of his power, and while he won't be dominating the Rift through killing sprees, his ability to take objectives and easily gank lanes are what really make Nunu shine. And if by some chance you end up falling a bit behind in the game, his Q and W will still let you be useful to your team, as you're able to serve up as the primary engage thanks to your massive and fast snowball. Also, if you combine your Q and Smite, you'll do some insane burst damage to objectives throughout the entire game. This means that it is borderline impossible to get objectives stolen from you and your team, and it's also a lot easier for you to steal objectives from the enemy. So if you're a supportive player who loves to get their allies ahead, be sure to take a shot at Snowball Bowling with Nunu. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite, and as for runes, you'll want Phase Rush, Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, and Water Walking. This will help you a ton with your stick potential to enemies with your W and E. To start off the game, you'll be buying a refillable potion and an Ember Knife to help you with your duels. Afterwards, be sure to pick up a Sunfire Cape, Bladed Steel Caps, Dead Man's Plate, Thornmail, Gargoyles, and then finish off with your choice of Spear Visage or Abyssal Mask, depending on what you and your team need. Next up, we got Jarvan. This powerful Demacian offers you and your team a great array of skills. Between his extremely simple kit and his amazing clear speed, Jarvan is able to make sure that he gives his team a lead through sheer power. Thanks to his EQ combo, J4 can gank lanes with ease and can often catch laners farther out than other junglers can. Alongside this, once he hits level 6, his ultimate offers a nice chunk of damage as well as a great way to cage immobile enemies. And when it comes to team fights, his all-in combo will allow you to trap your enemy carries and disrupt the backline so that your team can catch up. Plus, thanks to your itemization paths, you'll always be useful as you continuously grow your defenses. If you're looking for a strong skirmishing jungler that can easily 1v9 games, make sure to check out Jarvan. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Smite, and as for runes, you're taking Conqueror, Triumph, Alacrity, Coup de Grace, Sudden Impact, and Relentless Hunter. Due to your Bruiser runes and items, you'll be starting the game with a refillable potion and Ember Knife, but for the rest of the build, pick up a Gore Drinker, Tabbies, Sterix, Thornmail, Guardian Angel, and Death's Dance. This gives you a ton of survivability and lets you disrupt teamfights with your engage thanks to your ultimate and healing. But before we continue with the video, we got our question of the day. Today's question is, what champion do you think is always powerful due to their skill ceiling? Honestly, I think Riven is extremely powerful since with enough practice, even if she's behind, she's able to give her team a ton of power thanks to her execution damage and engage potential. But let me know your answer in the comments down below. Bringing us back into the video, we have Lisandra. This Queen of True Ice is known for her ability to deal quite a bit of burst damage, but alongside this, her kit allows her to provide her team with a ton of utility, while also being able to match the damage of many other control mages. Thanks to her passive, W, and ultimate, Lisandra can lock down enemies and provide her allies with quite a bit of CC. Plus, there's nothing more annoying than a Lisandra diving into your team just to ult herself for 2.5 seconds of invulnerability, and then Zhonya's for another 2.5 seconds, and then finally use your stopwatch for the final 2.5. Overall, if you're looking for a control mage that can carry your team through utility and damage, make sure to check out Lisandra. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Teleport, but for runes, you're taking Electrocute, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, Mana Flow Band, and Transcendence. Be sure to start the game with 2 potions and a Doran's Ring, but for the rest of the build, be sure to pick up Luden's Tempest, Sorc Shoes, Zhonya's, Rabadon's, Morellonomicon, and then finish off with a Void Staff. For our next mid laner, we got the magical statue himself, Galio. This anti-magic tank provides his team with a ton of useful utility, and above all, he's able to match a lot of mages and damage in the early game. Thanks to his great wave clear and innate magic resist scaling, Galio can take on any foe in the mid lane with ease. That being said, where he truly shines is of course his ultimate. With it, Galio is able to roam across the map in a blink of an eye, and this essentially turns him into a powerful anti-mage laner that can roam similar to the likes of Twisted Fate. And it also doesn't stop there. With his great gap closing and taunt, he can also frontline for his allies as he deals a nice chunk of burst damage. If you want more of a supportive mid laner that still deals a bit of damage, then Galio's your guy. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Teleport, and for runes, you're taking Aftershock, Shield Bash, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, Nimbus Cloak, and Transcendence. This will help provide you with some nice tanky stats early on. To start off the game, you're picking up 2 potions and a Doran's Ring, and then building into Merc Treads early, Hextech Rocket Belt, Zhonya's, Morellonomicon, Demonic Embrace, and then your choice of a Void Staff or Banshee's Veil, depending on what you and your team need. Now starting off our 80 carries, we've got Jhin. Jhin is an extremely unique champion thanks to his 4-shot basic attack mechanic. Alongside this cool mechanic, he also offers a lot of useful utility to his team while also dealing quite a bit of damage. As a hyper crit carry, if the game goes on for too long, Jhin will eventually be able to nearly one-shot squishy champs. But regardless of how fed Jhin is, with his W and his 4-shot, he will always be useful to the team. And with his W and ultimate, Jhin can help his team engage fights from afar. As for his 4th shot, especially when paired with Collector, Jhin can always give his team a nice chunk of damage even if he's behind thanks to its execution mechanic. And of course, if you bundle all of this together, you got a recipe for a champion that can always be useful no matter what state the game is in. However, it is important to note that you do trade off some utility for damage, but it's honestly not that bad of a trade. If that sounds like your jive, check out Jhin. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Heal, and for runes, you'll actually pick up Dark Harvest, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ravenous Hunter, Presence of Mind, and Coup de Grace. You'll start the game with a potion and a Doran's Blade for some extra sustain, and then build into Gale Force, Swiftness Boots, Collector, Rapid Fire Cannon, Infinity Edge, and your choice of Lord Dominic's Regards for Armor Pen or Guardian Angel for more survivability. Up next, we've got the infamous Frost Archer, Ashe. This classic 80 carry is well known for not only her incredibly simple kit, but she also offers her team a ton of unique utility. Of course, we're all familiar with Ashe's ult, which allows her to catch out an enemy with a massive skill shot that stuns them for quite a bit if it lands. Thanks to this, you're able to give your team an engage tool, which can be fairly rare as an 80 carry. Alongside her ultimate, Ashe's kit provides a ton more thanks to her slowing passive. With this, she's able to help her allies kite out multiple enemies and serves as some of the strongest disengage there is. Finally, we have Ashe's Hawkshot, which can be seen as one of, if not the most broken ability in the game. With it, Ashe is able to sweep the entire enemy jungle early in the game, which can often prevent them from getting off successful ganks. Plus, later on in the game, you can use Hawkshot to walk your team into an objective without even having to set up vision. Overall, if you're looking for a great utility carry that isn't that hard to play, make sure to check out Ashe. You'll take the classic 80 carry spells of Flash and Heal, but for runes, you're taking Hail of Blades, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, Ravenous Hunter, Biscuits, and Approach Velocity. To start off the game, you'll pick up a potion and Doran's Blade, and then for the rest of the build, you're grabbing a Shield Bow, Berserker's Greaves, Wit's End, Rage Blade, Blade of the Ruin King, and Guardian Angel. But before we finish up with supports, I want to remind you to join our amazing community of people just like you that love talking League of Legends lists, talk pieces, and all things meta. Check out our Discord using the link found in the description. Now to finish this off with supports, let's take a look at our starting support, Nautilus. This powerful engaged supportive champion is sure to meet you and your team's needs for a frontline that can pull the trigger whenever needed. Thanks to his incredibly nice kit, Nautilus is able to CC enemies for an eternity. With his Q, he can pick off enemies for him and his allies to finish off, and his ultimate is truly what makes this champion so powerful. With it, Nautilus is able to select one enemy champion that he wants dead, and they are forced to back away from the fight so they aren't CC chained and killed instantly. Thanks to this ability, Nautilus can easily disrupt the enemy backline by ulting one of the carries, which will not only knock up all enemies in their path, but it'll hunt down the selected target as well. If you're looking for an easy-to-play support that offers a ton of utility and will always be useful even when behind, be sure to check out Nautilus. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Ignite, and for runes, you'll take Aftershock, Shield Bash, Bone Plating, Unflinching, Biscuits, and Time Warp Tonic. To start off the game, you're picking up 2 potions and a Relic Shield, and then for the rest of the build, you're grabbing Plated Steel Caps, Locket, Thorn Mail, Abyssal Mask, and then Zeke's Convergence. And last but certainly not least, we have our final support, Alistar. This powerful cow may not offer the same utility as Nautilus, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. With his kit, Alistar is able to provide his team with powerful engage tools while also being an extremely tanky frontliner due to his ult. But his power isn't limited to teamfights either. His laning lets him decide whether he wants to be his AD carry's primary engage, or if he'd rather be the disengage to allow his carry to scale. This is all thanks to the knockaway of his W and the healing that's built into his kit whenever a few minions die. Plus, even if you end up falling behind, since his ult offers % damage reduction, he'll still be useful to your allies. If you're looking for somebody who enjoys being on the front lines, Alistar's tank stats and CC heavy kits will make you feel at home. For summoner spells, you're taking Flash and Ignite, and as for runes, Aftershock, Font of Life, Bone Plating, Unflinching, Hex Flash, and Cosmic Insight. To start off the game, you're picking up 2 potions and a Relic Shield, and then for the rest of the build, you're grabbing Moby Boots, Locket, Zeke's Convergence, Thornmail, and your choice of a Dead Man's Plate or Force of Nature, depending on what your team needs. And that sums up our video for today. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out the ProGuides family at ProGuides.com, where we offer exclusive giveaways and classes that you won't catch anywhere else. Also, don't forget to answer our question of the day or check out the link to join our community Discord found in the description down below. That's it for today, so best of luck on the Rift, everybody. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.